good morning, John, and it's great to have you here on another season of Football Saturday.
Thanks, Mike. Been looking forward to this day all year.
And now, you've been doing this for a while now. You still have that, I don't know, butterflies? You still have that feeling on opening night, the excitement of getting another season started?
Yeah, it was all week. I felt like I was going to have a heart attack, couldn't breathe very well. All the anxiety that comes with it. It's really a miserable feeling, Mike, for like 3 or 4 days.
And yet you keep coming back year after year.
I know. It doesn't make sense, right?
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about last night's game, 42-2. So a good, solid win to start the season for the Generals. What did you see out of your team that you especially liked last night?
A lot of things. I thought we did a really, really good job of being in the right frame of mind for a road game. The first game of the year, you never know how you're going to respond. I think that's part of a coach's anxiety. You just don't know what you're going to get week one. I thought our kids really displayed like a workmanship effort. They're real focused on what they needed to do. I was really proud of our offensive line. I mean, I've been hard on those guys a lot, and I thought they really were the difference in the game last night. Really proud of our kickoff team. Some of those kids brought such excitement to the field. Just a lot of things as a coach I was proud of. I thought we did a really nice job.
And, John, you may have already mentioned some of these things, but in the past, certainly you evaluate your team in practice before the season starts, but you never really know what you've got until the season starts and they're on the field. Was there anything that you saw last night from your team that was maybe an unexpected surprise that they did well?
Probably I was surprised by all of it, Mike, to be honest, because I didn't think we would do anything real well. I'm pretty pessimistic most of the time. But I will tell you this, we have a team that, brought back a lot of kids that played last year. People were telling me this and that, and I'm like, we're basically using the same team we used last year. We had a real small senior class last year, so a lot of those guys had already been playing for a year. I thought we had a chance to be okay, and I still think we do. Our schedule, it's pretty rough here over the next 7-8 weeks, right? But I think we have a nice group. Got a nice mix of leadership, a little bit of craziness, a little bit of fun, and it's really been a fun group to be around. I've really enjoyed being around these kids.
Anything in particular that jumped out last night that you might consider an area of opportunity or something that will be a focus this week in practice?
No, I think we're just going to try to build on what we did last night. I thought it was a really nice first game. I did want to say this. It's kind of off topic. I'm switching gears on you, but I wanted to say how proud I was of both communities last night. That place was packed with people last night, and it was really great to see our communities come out like that. And Coshocton's done a great job with that stadium. It's a beautiful place to play now. So it was really a great opportunity for our kids to play in front of that kind of crowd and on that kind of facility. So it was really a nice night from that standpoint, and I thought the game was well played, and I thought it was a pretty classy game last night.
Okay, very good. And so besides Garraway at the end of the season, are there any other games in particular, maybe one or two, that you have circled?
Obviously, Garraway game's always a big game for us, but that's a long way away. A lot of things can happen between now and then. It'll be a battle for us a lot of weeks, Mike. I tell my kids this all the time. We don't have a great guy, but we have a lot of pretty good guys. So it's really a nice team. We don't really have a guy. So like for us, every week we're going to have to play with great emotion and be great teammates and be in it for each other and not be selfish and not make it about me. And that's one of the things I was really excited about last night. Our kids just had a really great attitude for each other. I mean, as long as you can keep, I think it's probably true of life and everything, right? Your job, your marriage, whatever. As long as you don't make everything about you, you get a chance to be successful in it, And as long as you can put other people before you and try to be a good person. I thought we did a good job with that last night.
Well, John, Ridgewood has a long tradition of success and winning. What kind of goals have you and your coaching staff and your guys set for this season, and do you get together and talk about it?
Our goals are always the same, Mike. We want to be as good as we can and win games. Ultimately, I told the kids this before the game last night. As a coach, you get caught up in wins and losses, and I said ultimately that's how people are going to judge you. But I said I've really enjoyed coaching you through this summer and being around you, and it's been one of my more enjoyable years with the kids. I really like this group. They're fun to be around. But ultimately, you're judged by winning and losing, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but my goal has always been, you lose focus of this sometimes, and I know when you lose, especially, like Steve's probably going through it, but our number one goal is really not to win football games, just to make young men better and have a great experience while they're here, and try to make, when they look back 10 years from now, they say, man, I had a blast playing Ridgewood football, and I really enjoyed it, and we had a good time together, because the wins and losses come and go, but it's your memories that you make, and that's what we try to do. That's our expectations every year.
All right, very good, and that shows as well. Well, next week, another Coshocton County matchup, but it's your first home game. It'll be Riverview coming to West Lafayette, so expect another electric night. You mentioned how wonderful it was at Coshocton last night. I'm sure Ridgewood's going to be rocking next week.
It will be. The thing about football is you get so few games. We call it the fastest 10 weeks of the year. You got to enjoy each one, and you got to get out and have fun. It really doesn't matter the team you're playing. The only reason that matters is, if you get the bigger crowds, the kids always like that, and that's why Ridgewood's a cool place, because our community comes out and makes it special for our kids. But every game's a big event because you only get 10 of them, and someone told you only had 10 days left, you don't waste any of those days, and that's what we have. 9 more Fridays left, so we don't want to waste any of them.
Well, John, it's always a pleasure to speak with you on Saturday mornings during the football season, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
I appreciate it, Mike. You have a great week.
You too. That's John Slusser, the head coach of the Ridgewood Generals. Phone Steve Smith, the head coach of the Coshocton Redskins, and again, last night at Stewart Field, Ridgewood beat Coshocton 42-2, and we'll talk a little bit about that game. But first of all, good morning, Coach, and welcome to another season of Football Saturday.
Good morning, Mike.
And but before we talk about the game, school has started now. You've been practicing for a while. Were you and your team excited to get back out on the field again last night?
Yeah, I thought our seniors done a great job leading us through the summer. We had a good summer with our workouts and off season things, and we had a really good camp and 2-a-days, and this group's worked really hard and practiced hard. Things just didn't come together last night.
Well, you hung with them. In fact, you scored first. You got a safety, and then things got away from you late in the second half, or second quarter in the second half. But how did things start? It sounded like it looked like you pinned them back on a punt and then got a safety.
Yeah, we had a decent first drive. We moved the football, stalled out a little bit, and so I made the decision to punt. We had a great punt that died on the 1-yard line, and the very next play, we were able to make a play in the end zone and get a safety, and kind of change momentum early of the game.
Well, with that early in the game and throughout the game, and again, did 42-2, so that's a rough night. That don't want to sugarcoat it, but what did you like from what you saw out of your team last night?
I thought we kept battling. Obviously you go through a game like that against your county rival. It can be frustrating at times. We had some injuries last night that caused some issues with substitution patterns and all that other stuff. So we had some guys in there that didn't get a lot of reps, during 2-a-days, and that always affects you. And but the kids played hard and they battled the whole time.
How about penalties? Did they play a pretty clean game?
Yeah, I think we had 3 or 4 penalties. No, we had a motion penalty and then had 1 face mask, so that wasn't the issue. We had a couple turnovers, but they were late in the game, so and I think it was just kids trying to make a play.
Well, what are some of those areas of opportunity then that you feel you need to focus on moving forward towards Johnstown?
you got to think of it this way. I mean, it is only one game. We got 9 games left, and we just got to take it 1 week at a time, and come together as a group again on Monday and get back to work.
And this would have been a better question a week ago, but what about your season goals? What kind of goals have you and your guys set for the Redskins this year?
I mean, like I said, we're week by week right now. Our biggest concern right now is Johnstown. And then, as we move into league play, we want to represent, Coshocton well in the league. So, but, we kind of have the mantra right now that we're 1 week at a time.
What is the makeup of your team? Do you have a lot of seniors this year? Is it a mature team, or do you have a lot of youngsters?
We got a lot of. We have about a group of seniors, a solid group of seniors, but we have a lot of younger players that are starting for the first time, getting their first varsity experience. So, they're going to get better each week. They're going to work hard to get better.
Now, you mentioned Johnstown. That is next week. You're on the road at Johnstown, Monroe. Their coach, Mike Carter, has been there a long time, at least 20 years, and they've had some success in the past. Just small sample size, but they won 40-0 against Zanesville last night, so it appears that they are formidable.
Yeah, no, they have a lot coming. We played them last year. They have a lot coming back. They're a run-dominant team. A lot like us, so it's going to be a smash-mouth game, and we got to go over there this year. So we got to have ourselves ready. We as a coaching staff got to have our kids ready to go. For next Friday.
Now, when you have a non-conference game like this, it's not just some random game. It's a team that you've seen before. Does that give you, I guess, a clearer picture going in when you know at least a little bit about the team?
Yeah, I mean, you get to see what their personnel is like. You get to see what their speed's like up close. When you play early like this, you see how they worked over the summer, to see how they've changed their bodies and all that other stuff. So, we're familiar. We've played before in the past. So we know what we need to do. We need to stop the run, and we need to put some points on the board.
All right, very good. Well, look forward to speaking with you next week. And, again, welcome to a new season of the Football Saturday program, and looking forward to the next 9 games. Steve, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Mike.
That's Steve Smith, the head coach of the Coshocton Redskins. We have more to come on the Football Saturday program. We have with us Tom Lesecki, the head coach of the Riverview Black Bears. Now, last night in Sugar Creek, Garaway beat Riverview by a score of 56-0, and a heck of a way to start the season scheduling Garaway for your first non-conference game, Coach.
Well, that was my decision, and we didn't have a whole lot of options going into this year for opening games, and so I felt, playing at Garaway, it's a team I know, it's a team I'm familiar with, so I knew we were up for a challenge. I knew we were up against. It's just we need to get ourselves better and compete at that level.
Well, 56-0, that is a score that is not uncommon for Garaway. So what do you learn starting the season with a game like that? What do you learn about your team?
Well, we're extremely young as a team. We start a lot of sophomores, and we're going to be starting some freshmen soon. We have no juniors on our team this year. We have about 8 seniors. So we are extremely young. So a lot of the kids that played last night was the first time they actually played in the varsity football game. Our kids played well. It's just that we're outmanned and outnumbered. And, Garaway had 27 offensive linemen. We had 25 kids dressed. So it's hard to compete. We came into this year thinking that we were going to have good numbers. We had 65 kids sign up. We had 65 kids come and get helmet fitting. And then when it came time for the season, only 35 showed up. So it's been a struggle. It's a little disappointing. But I'm extremely proud of the kids that we have. They work extremely hard. They're good kids. We're just young again.
Well, and setting the score aside, those 35 kids, and you and your coaching staff for that matter, how did it feel? It feel good to get out on the to get out on the field last night after practicing for so many weeks?
It did, especially after East Knox decided to cancel our scrimmage and not want to play us. We didn't get a scrimmage last week, so it's been 2 weeks since we got a chance to play, and we've had a great week of practice. Our kids executed the plan that we wanted. It's just they're extremely talented and very athletic.
And what are maybe a couple little nuggets that you saw out of your team last night that you like, things that they did well, or things that you can you feel like you can build on?
Well, it's things we could build on. I mean, we came out in the game. We stopped them in 3 plays. They punted. There were 3 times in the first half. We have some serious drives going, and we just don't finish. So we did move the ball at times. We also made plays at times on defense. But any time that Garraway got in open space, we struggled with. So, our kids played hard, and they're learning. And those are things I'm proud of. I really love this group. It's a really good group of kids, and I'm really proud of what they do, because it's hard to go out there every week and every day to practice when there's only 30 of you guys out there, and to get ready for a game.
What kind of goals have you and your coaching staff and your players, for that matter, set for the season?
Well, our number one goal is just to get better. We know we're up against. No one's sugarcoating it around here thinking, that we're going to play for an MVL title. Our goal is to win a football game this year. I think if we win a football game, that's huge for this group. We're getting better. As I told the kids at halftime, we're 1,000% better than we were last year. 1,000%. We're way better this year. It's just not having the numbers is putting us in a bind when it gets into that second quarter. We're okay in the first quarter for the most part. With the conditioning-wise, it's when you're going into that second quarter when we just get worn out. So our goals are to get better, win a football game, compete, and bring back, Black Bear football, and start preparing it for the future, because we do have a bright future.
Now, next week is not an easy one either. You travel to the other side of the county to West Lafayette to take on the Ridgewood Generals. You know that stadium is going to be full and noisy. Your thoughts leading into that Shockton County matchup?
It's nothing like starting off with the IVC, 2 of the 3 top teams, and, Coach Slusser and them at Ridgewood, they do a great job. They have great fans, great support. It's another program like Garraway and Coach Wally. I try to emulate. We need to get to be like. But again, that's a long history of tradition there to get to that point. And so, we're going to work hard, and hopefully we can give the Generals a game and get better and keep competing.
Well, look forward to speaking with you again next week and throughout the season. And I want to thank you, as always, Coach, for spending some time with us on the Football Saturday program.
Mike, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys supporting Riverview football and our school and community, and our guys are trying our best to make people proud, and I am very proud of this group.
That's Tom Lesecki, the head coach of the Riverview Black Bears. We have more to come on the Football Saturday program.